iTideStick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on iTideStick Radio. I need a stoner bitch. I need a stoner bitch. I need a stoner bitch. I need a stoner bitch, looking just like you. Would you like to get high with it? Just like you. Never cry, you only sad when the second stars. I got a pound in the bar, so girls back the ball. Fuck the notes, fuck the bottom, fuck the empty everybody. She's happy to kick your ass over the back side of marijuana. You see, she's never forever, that's what she promised me. Only breaking up the dudes, when we're breaking up the beat. It please for me, stupid and black. She's the type of girl that likes to smoke and sip all night. She's the love of my life, my soul to bitch. Broadway, she's better than a Broadway and better than Beyonce. Ass so big, you can see it from the front. And she's so damn sexy, how she packs the blood. My stoner bitch is like a dream to me, she beats so fine. I gotta make this little fly, stoner bitch all mine. I need a stoner bitch. Something that boy girl got my sense. These gas students in the trip, that's right. Something that boy girl take care of the kids and you can say something that boy girl second boy girl with the place in the hair. That boy stoner bitch won't out of blood. The time I go to mass, no one's enough. I just tell the bitch no shot like she is the drug in the community, focus on the ball, anti-drug, she the drug in the shit, she's a community, I'm not talking about me. Feeds for the dream, sex for the dream, figures, you know, pussy like bounce and all crazy, in the eye, with the cheeks, fucking stuff, you can raise this amazing, this no she got the finest from the boots and the nose, you know, put that on the table, like I'm motherfucking right, to death, to his heart, she's my friend's fucking life, so, not you, that's what happened to her. But she was doing like little shit that I'm like, having my joint rolled and ready to yeah. Over there, we had to load it, that was how we smoked. I'm talking about this whole bitch, she ain't a joke. Let's get it straight from that everything, call it bitch. It's like nice for more than enough to switch. I got a fire lady, doesn't think it's a shit. You wanna count to me with the deep with the game time. I stole a lady that fuck with me, she likes to fuck. Like Simon does it when I'm digging deep inside her guts. No macaroni can see she makes shit at the store. If we out of bleed, then she's out to put another score. She be the love of my life, she got it right. I stole a boy, that nigga, so they be my soul alive. I need a stoner bitch. Something that boy girl got my sense. These gas students in the trip, that's right. Something that boy girl take care of the kids and you can say something that boy girl second boy girl with the place in the hair. That boy stoner bitch won't out of blood. The time I go to mass, no one's listening. I need a stoner I need a stoner Let me go off my ass, it's no tricks. The type of bitch you got, sniff with the skill. The type of bitch you got, kill you every time I shit. I know she got a green thing from my green house. I'm playing with you, dog, I gotta tell. Look at this kind of bitch, you never spoke with the spouse. Look at why you got me with the house. Look at this bitch, that's some girls are taking cherries, they were tired with their tongue. My pillow roll, I never want to smoke a killer. This is in the kitchen with some killer. All his brother, cause I'm still a bitch, still a Jesus. And I'm a little sober bitch, just like you, like you, like you. That's my favorite song. I need a stoner bitch. I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life. yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Duffman. Oh yeah. Remember that guy from The Simpsons, the Duffman? The beer guy that like Homer was like big. Homer was practically in love with that guy, okay? Oh yeah. Duffman. Oh yeah. Duffman in the house. Oh yeah. But anyway, we are live from Tampa Bay. This is High Tide Stick with the Doc, MistaTre. Of course, coming to you live on YouTube. About to be coming to you live on Periscope. Sooner or later. Didn't have that one set up. We had some technical difficulties this morning. We're not going to discuss that. We've fixed the issue. But then this weekend had some technical difficulties too. Let me tell you, it was a crazy weekend. Did I tell you about the kid who like saved from the pool table eating her?
You told me.
Okay, so we saved a kid.
I thought you did.
Well, I mean, I did have a buddy there who was, you know, he's like my sidekick. He was Robin. I was Batman.
Oh.
I saved the victim in distress. He talked to the parent, so the parent get the fuck out of my ear.
Gotcha.
Because you know that's that crazy stuff.
Like, bitch, get out of my face.
Well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, so by the way, Kels is in the studio. Kels came to the studio because Kels is not at work because Kels is sick as shit.
Yeah.
Cousin Kels.
It's this weather.
Cousin Kels is sick as hell. Cousin Kels is in the studio. We got the Periscope up, by the way, so now we'll figure out, like, you know, who actually, we'll see who actually listens to us out there in the world. But anyway,
Somebody out there.
hello. Hello. Is anybody out there? Do I love Led Zeppelin?
Most definitely do.
I really do. I love Led Zeppelin. I'm like, hello, you know, is anybody out there? I freaking love Led Zeppelin, man. But anyway, so we're coming to you live from Tampa, Florida, of course, in the good old U.S. of A. Shout out to everybody out there in the world listening to us. If you're listening to us on YouTube or Periscope, anywhere else in the world, please, you know, hit us up with an inbox or a message or whatever the case may be, and let us know where you're at, and we'll give you a shout out. On Periscope, you might have to wait till I'm actually looking at the at the camera, because it pops up right on the screen. This Periscope is cool, by the way. For those of you who don't know what Periscope is, you need to get the app. It's actually really cool. But I'm not endorsing them in case they do anything, you know, foul or wrong. But I'm just saying it's a good app and it's cool. And I don't know if it works on your phone as well as it works on my phone, but it's wonderful. I can broadcast hour-long shows from my phone.
Your phone's better?
No, I just got a Galaxy. I just got a Galaxy Grand Prime. I mean, it's a really good phone, though. It's a Samsung. You know, hey, you got you know, you got. Okay, so she has this giant i6, which finally iPhone figured out that people don't have little. What would you call it? People don't have like little baby hands. You know, like, could you imagine? like the iPhone was built for somebody with a hand like this size.
If you're gonna use editing,
You need a phone that's like this. Well, yeah, and if you're going to be on your phone playing all the time and you want to be on the internet all the time, you need a bigger screen. And so the i6, you know, finally Apple jumped on board. You know what's funny is, like, Steve Jobs was, I wonder if Steve Jobs had little hands. Because he was hell-bent on keeping that iPhone the way and the size it was. Is funny enough, as the one that was big like that didn't come out until after he was gone. And that's because I think that might be, I wonder, is there a back story to this? You know, did we defile Steve Jobs' dream by doing this? You know, you got to ask yourself that sometimes. Word up, that's some real stuff there, buddy. I copy that 10-4, Roger. But no, you know, it's like all these things. Like, did you guys crap on his dream though?
Yeah.
But I think you have to move forward with what the people want in technology. That's the one thing that frustrates me. Like when I hear business owners go, I don't want to give my customers, um, let's say at a restaurant, I don't want to give my customers, a little like make the fries piled up, right?
Yeah.
Like a big old pile of fries because half of them come back and go in the trash. So I don't want to give my customers that. I don't like a lot of fries anyway because once they get cold, I don't like to eat them. Well, no, but here's what I hear: is the I, and I always think, well, it isn't really about you. When you run a business, it is legitly about your customers. If you're not there to service your customers and your business is a service business, right? They pay your paycheck, so it's really what they want, not what you want.
I never used to really understand that, but then it's really true. You got to give the people the best service that you can.
Right. Well, I think
built clients.
Well, I think that's where. Well, as I said, I think that's where Steve Jobs failed himself in a sense is that for years since like what was it, the iPhone 3 or 4, since the iPhone 3 or 4, for years the iPhone users like begged and pleaded for a better or a bigger screen, a bigger phone, a phone that would be more more compatible or not compatible, excuse me, but more comparable, it would make it more comparable to like the S series as an example from Samsung. But like I told you, like for those of you that don't know, moons ago, many moons ago, I actually worked for Samsung and did their bidding on the technical and tech support side of it, and I still use their products because despite me and their relationship ending, and it wasn't a bad relationship and it didn't end negatively, it's just the relationship ended and that's the end of it. That happens with contracts because I was an outsourced contractor. And but one thing that I will tell you is I absolutely fell in love with the product that they had put forward because they'd broken the barrier. I think this was equivalent to like a jet breaking the sound barrier. Like so much had changed. Are you that tired?
I think it's making me tired and sick.
It does. Like I think that's the only time I really like start to feel worn down. Everything sucks the life out of me. Mostly women, anything other than weed. Just kidding.
Guys suck the life out of me too. I just don't have time for that bullshit.
Yeah. I have time. I don't know. I like to work. That's about it. I really don't. I'm like you. I just don't have a lot of time for like just BS. Yeah, I really don't. I mean, I just don't. I really don't have time for BS.
Other shit to think about, as in
Hell yeah. So today we have a few things that we're going to definitely talk about weed. Like first off, I want to know what you guys did this weekend. So even if we don't get to this topic until later on this week, that's fine. But I just want to know what you guys did for Valentine's Day. I bahumbugged it, sort of. I did like the Valentine's Day humbug. I went and hung out with one of my friends whose Valentine probably is a catfish. And then another one of my friends who I'm not really sure. I don't know. That's my crazy ride or die homie. We go and we hang out. And a pirate. I was hanging out with Captain Nico, who is a pirate, a friend of mine who is a real pirate, legitimately to some degree is a pirate, but he's also a pirate in Pirates of the Caribbean, the newest one that's coming out later this year. I think it's later this year. We're gonna have to Google that. I'll ask him when I see him again. I'm like, when is that damn movie coming out again? Because I swear he said next year sometime, but and this was when I met him before. I met him last year, and he said next year sometime, and I don't remember like what it was. But anyway, so I spent Valentine's Day hanging out with a pirate and my ride or die partner in crime.
I took David everywhere with me yesterday.
My cousin kidnapped her own kid, so he couldn't play video games all day.
He had fun.
I know. He did say he had fun though.
Yeah, I took him to work. That was really cool.
Right?
I got to see who I work with.
Hells yeah.
New location.
New location. Yeah, Kels is getting promoted at her job, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's
More
cool.
money.
Cousin Kel's making the move. Hey, Cousin Kel's bread winning her life. That's how you do it, though. Stack chips. You got to stack your chips, man.
Nothing's stopping me now, dude.
Nothing's stopping me now. Look at the way you said it, too. Like, I believed it. I felt your confidence. I was like, no, nothing is stopping you now.
Because when I was married, I didn't have an excuse to actually move forward in my life.
See, I think that's one thing is I really feel bad for the couples in the relationships where they get bogged down, but they get bogged down by life, by their life or whatever. And I always feel really bad for them because I'm like, man, like, damn guys, like that sucks that you're bogged down enough in life that you really can't get that you don't feel like you can get anything done. Like you don't feel like you can accomplish anything. You don't feel like you can get because you and it's because you're in a relationship and that's it. And see, the thing is, listen, let the love doctor come into the room for a minute. Let me talk to you, ladies. The love doctor needs to talk to you. So all I'm saying is, all you need to do is you got to work together, but you shouldn't let the relationship be the end of your dreams and ambitions. But I can tell you why a lot of the times this happens. If you guys all want some relationship advice out there, and kind of the do's and don'ts, you can go to you. Hold on. Let me finish this. Let me finish this statement and keep your thought ready. No, forget it. Go, because my statement I already know what I'm going to say. Go, and you'll forget. You always forget.
To being in a relationship or something like that, when you can't even get anything accomplished because you settle, and you shouldn't have to settle. I came to the conclusion.
Thank you for stealing my. That's why you did that. You're a jerk.
And at the age of 40, that's when you got to just change everything. Is this what you want in your life? And I said, hell no, man. I'm moving forward. And here I am 3 years later.
That's legit, though. That's legit. But I mean, I would say that when somebody like what you just said, it really does bother me, though. I mean, because like I said again, it makes me think that point or that moment where I go, wow, like.
Get too comfortable.
You get comfortable, you're just like, screw it, you're settling.
So when you get too comfortable, you settle. And
and that's why when I see young couples bother me or they worry me because the young couples think they realize that the young couples, I don't think they realize that this may not be the last person you're with, and it sucks. I hope it is. I hope you make it. Statistically speaking, unfortunately, you're probably not.
70% of young couples do not make it.
Yeah, the rates are astronomical. They are absolutely through the freaking charts, crazy, wild, astronomical. As far as the who's going to make it and who's not,
I didn't think
it really is. We're getting ready to go to break. Cousin Cal's in the studio. But yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at with that. Is like the young couples, I feel bad for them, and it scares me. But we'll be right back after the break. I'm the Doc MistaTre. You're listening to us on High Tide State Radio. We're listening to me, the Doc MistaTre, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide State Radio.
What it do, fatty? Two behind. Do it big. Gang, gang. Yeah.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. Yeah. MistaTre told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope, shit smell like pine. I drive a foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time. Since I was young, I was young. Nickels and dollars and niggas. Ever since they robbed me, trust and believe I was blessed. Smoking like a zombie. Zoo game, my niggas, nothing. Dice in my G got me. All my niggas got bustin'. Once I started, stayed on my grind. MistaTre total time. Smoking big dope shit, smell like pine. Driving foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time.
Hey, my hood said get you, so fuck you. You, your dead homies, and your pistol. I'm from Gangville. We don't talk to get you. The bullets out this bitch sounding like a Russian. I've been a real nigga, I just never like that. And I be owning Houston, Texas like a rapper like. Use a cartoon character, Facebook dog, need a Grammy, you an actor. Push the ball, me with no ammo in the gun. I got a chop on the way and 100-round drum. The difference between me and you haters is I'm winning. The label left a nigga, I bounce back in the pit.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. MistaTre told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope shit, smell like pine. I drive a foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time.
Hey, I'm in the studio, grinding with no pen or pad. They gave a white nigga money, now you at his man. Said my belly was so eat, I can feel the hunger. Ever go broke, I turn your block into a fucking summer. I left the West Coast to bring back my street cred. I don't know how niggas eating when the streets dead. I know where bees live when they think I don't. And I leave a nigga stinking, you think I won't. Expose me to the world, make 2 piece famous. But you won't run in my money, I'ma sell them payments. I don't owe nobody nothing that ain't on me. You made a feature, you charging a fuck nigga fee.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. MistaTre told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope shit, smell like pine. I drive a foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time.
Hip-hop concert tour, Ours features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course, Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. Who got it? You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook right now at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Ars Fest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. Ike Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to The Doc live on YouTube.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah, that's right. We back. We back from break. We are back. Oh, I'm back. Guess who's back? Treasy's back. Guess who's back? Treasy's back. I like that version though. I do. I like that version. Guess who's back? Treasy's back. Be like, 2 ghetto ass bitches go around the project side, around the building side, because he's like 2 white, girls go around the trailer park outside or whatever he says, you know, on that song. I know you know what I'm talking about, Kels. The Eminem song where he's like two trailer park girls go around the outside or something.
Oh yeah.
So
Isn't that? Gosh, who is that?
also I'll be like 2 ghetto ass girls go around the outside.
No, that's.
I'll switch it up. I'll change it. I'm just not trailer park material, man.
What was that?
I don't really even know what that means. It was Eminem. I could have told you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have told you that. Jesus, Cows.
No, I was thinking of something else.
I got your back, bro.
Okay, thank you.
I got your back. I got this ish.
Okay.
So anyway, you know I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
I'm sorry you're sick though, but we get to hang out when you're sick, so that's kind of fun, I guess. So ha.
But you gotta go to work.
I do got to go to my other job. That kind of, that happens sometimes. Just sometimes. Actually, that happens a lot for me, but that's a whole nother story. So anyway, I guess we should probably get back to weed stuff. So, and we also going to talk about there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in politics right now, just because of there's a chief justice who died. Chief Justice, his name would be Anton Scalia, as I believe how you say his last name. Chief Justice Scalia died over the weekend while he was, I believe, in Texas hunting, and he was, of course, appointed to the Supreme Court in 1986 by Ronald Reagan. He is the uber conservative Chief Justice, and now that he has passed away, the Supreme Court is equal at this point with equal chief justices for both sides. There's 8 right now. There's usually 9 to offset the difference, but so right now there are 8 chief justices, 4 conservatives and 4 liberal judges, or Democrat like-minded judges versus Republican-minded judges. I guess that's a way to word that, maybe. And there is an appointment available for a judge, which will no doubt undoubtedly be a liberal appointed by President Obama. And it has Republicans vowing to block any type of it has them vowing to block any type of appointment by the president. So very interesting stuff going on there. But we're going to talk about some weed now, man. And by the way, whether you're watching on YouTube, Periscope, or listening to other avenues, however you're listening to us, drop us a shout out. Tell us where you're at, and we'll give you a shout out. We always like to know where our listeners are listening in from or watching from. Again, you can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all at High Tide Stick Radio. On Periscope, we usually Periscope through my Twitter account at The Real MistaTre. Hit me up on Twitter, like me on Facebook as well. Let's have some fun with this. But anyway, so right now I was looking at this over the weekend. It's the High Times exclusive CBD family tree, and you should definitely go check this out. I will post this, of course, on High Tide Sticks Facebook page today. You should absolutely take a look at this. It's actually really cool, to be honest with you, and it kind of gives you an idea of like where the strains come from and how they come along and all that good jazz, and which ones make which ones. And so you can be a little bit more educated when you speak about your weed. When you get into your weed snob moments, I think I have those, Kelly.
What's that?
Weed snob moments. Because I just know a lot about weed, and I especially cannot stand when people talk about weed. I have no freaking clue what they're freaking saying. Drives me nuts.
I'm going to say I don't know too much about weed, what kind, and all that. I just know that I like to smoke it.
Well, this isn't just one. This is just the CBD family tree. So this is like a lot of. By the way, this is a lot of the indicas, okay, which are heavy in CBD. So listen, there's Super Nivelles Haze, G13, OG Kush, Colombian Gold, and Thai. They start all your CBD weeds.
Yeah.
Right there.
I'm going to even say something that I don't know anything about.
So check this out.
If I'm going to say anything, I'm going to make sure I got my facts first.
Check this out. So from Super Nivelles Haze and G13, you get G13 Haze. From OG Kush and G13, you get MK Ultra. And from Colombian Gold and Thai, you get Swiss. And from Swiss Colombian Gold and Thai, you get Nepal. And then from all of those, that turns into Harlequin. And Harlequin turns into
sour tsunami because it's being introduced into the strain, by the way. See, there's some introduction in the strain, like some bio cross genetic breeding stuff that goes on. I mean, it's really intense. Like I really look forward to my research trip to Michigan. I'm actually going to be flying up to Michigan and staying at Chris Watkins' house. He doesn't know this yet. I haven't told him yet, but I was thinking about going to Miami, but I think in the summer I'm going to go to Michigan and learn about biogenetics over the summer. Because I want to be the forefront leader in marijuana knowledge here in Florida. And in order to do that, I've already got the growing stuff down. I've already got the marketing stuff down. How to run the smoke shops, how to run the dispensaries. I've been basically interning by being in radio at all these places because I got to interview them. I got to basically find out how their job works, and on that side. And then I was already a grower myself, and I've already been a business-minded person. I worked in corporate America for a while, so all these things that's kind of like how your life comes together. Yeah. This is like meant to be, and I just need a few more pieces of the puzzle. And I think biogenetics for plants and genetic altering plants, genetic altering marijuana is my dream job. Oh, nice. So I plan to go there and pretty much just get shit-faced stoned and learn how to like make what I want, like the perfect weed that fixes ADD with a little PTSD, bipolar type stuff going on, right? And chronic depression. Like, I want to find the perfect strand, or the perfect 4 strands for those 4 things, and I want to put them together, and I want to make them make plant love. And when I put those plants together and they make plant love at the genetic level, it's going to find the perfect weed to call the doc. Okay. MistaTre. or just the doc. And the reason why I want to call it that, what up, yo? What up? By the way, we have, of course, we always have people who jump in here from like Periscope and YouTube and stuff. So give us, let us know you guys are listening or watching from. Shout out to our Tampa Bay listeners out here in Florida. Shout out to our Colorado Springs listeners in Colorado Springs, of course. Shout out to Denver. Yo, what up, Fats up there? So we get a lot of people who come in and out of here from around the country, and so and also the globe for that matter. We have people who listen all over the world. Shout out to my people that listen to us out in Brussels and out in the UK. London, over in was it France, Spain, Germany, so many places, a few countries in Africa, and I get a lot of polling from a lot of people. Apparently, people like weed in the Middle East. Let me tell you, because I have a lot of followers who have Arabic writing, and I'm just like, dude, I don't read or write Arabic, and so I don't know what their posts say, but it trips me out because I have a lot of people, especially on Twitter, who are Arabic who follow me, and I love it because I'm like, so you like weed, do you? Do you like weed? Well, so do I. Yeah. I don't care what our religious differences are. I'm actually Buddhist. I don't care. I'm like, I don't care if you're Muslim. Do you like weed? Because a Muslim that likes weed, we might be able to sit down and have an intelligent conversation. And the only reason why I say we might is because the terrorist from the attacks in Paris, France, Kelly. Yeah. The ex-girlfriend of his that talked to the authorities said that he smoked weed on a regular basis, and he was actually pretty chill. And so that scares me. Like, what happened? Like, now you got to understand that she didn't see him every day after that. So he may, like, I guarantee you he wasn't smoking every day if he was on a holy crusade for, anybody. I guarantee you he wasn't, because they frown upon, drinking and smoking weed and all that stuff. I mean, maybe he was, but it was probably more like on the low. He wasn't just an everyday, like, college level stoner like he was when he was with this girl at all. But it's just interesting to see somebody go from being such a pleasant person to being just this, a parasite, I would call it.
Sounds like some people have another side of them that doesn't show.
Right? And it's a little scary.
It is. Very scary.
I don't know, man. Those people scare the hell out of me. They really do. So check this out. Like, there's a drug called Valentine X. And so it's bred through so many different strands of weed. But when it comes down to it, it's like a lot of like Haze, G13, OG Kush, MK Ultra, G13 haze, which comes from G13 super haze, and all the way down to there's one called catatonic. I bet you that's some couch weed right there. Like that weed probably puts your ass to the ground. Well, I don't know though, because see, here's the thing is, as you breed, okay, so here's the thing, as you breed weed down into a CBD, okay, and I may correct, I'd have to double check, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I got this right though. Because as you breed up the amount of CBD in your plant, you're gonna breed down the amount of THC in your plant because there's a balance there. You know what I mean? So, and the thing is like G13 is a pure indica, you know what I'm saying? And it was originally presented or brought to the table by Sandy Weinstein, and I'm pretty sure she's probably not. She's an American grower, and she's not going to give up how she made it. By the way, for those of you, really should check out this article that we posted to the High Tide Sig Radio page from High Times Magazine. It's a lot of really good knowledge about where your weed comes from. Like there's a Super Novel Haze, which is a sativa dominant hybrid, but it led to G13 haze, which G13 haze is going to be. G13 haze is going to be like that's where you start to shift the dominance, if that makes sense to the CBD. I don't know how to explain it. Like it's so it's so much stuff. But MK Ultra, by the way, is MK Ultra is a cross between G13 and OG Kush, and it's to honor the infamous CIA brainwashing project. Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Resin Seeds introduced one of the first strains marketed for its CBD content called Catatonic, a phenotype from a cross between MK Ultra and G13 haze. This strand reportedly produces about a 1-to-1 ratio of CBD, but actual values will fluctuate considerably. This strain is still obviously psychoactive, its grandparents being some of the most potent strains of cannabis ever exist. Many breeders have made crosses of catatonic, most of which have tonic in their name somewhere, like OG tonic, Start tonic, etc. So funny. But it's a pretty lengthy article, which I'm not going to sit here and read verbatim because we're getting ready to go to commercial here in like literally 1 minute. But I definitely there's a lot to this article. It's worth reading if you truly want to become an aficionado of marijuana. And let me explain something to you. Smoking pot, by the way, for all you jackasses out there, does not make you an aficionado of pot. You actually have to educate yourself. You have to get knowledge or gain knowledge of pot before you can turn around and call yourself an aficionado. You have to grow it. You have to be immersed into the culture of it. You got to go to like Chromic Con out in Colorado Springs at the Speakeasy Vape Lounge, and just go to the world's only marijuana comic book convention where you can go there and smoke pot and check out comics and meet old stars. Like I'm actually friends with. Well, I don't know if I should tell people. For real.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what his real name is, but if you can figure out who he is, then more power to you. But I am friends with the guy, and I love this. I am friends with the 420 comic, by the way, which he is like the world's like marijuana comic. His name is Jeffrey Petersons. He writes his own comic books also that are like weed comic books or 2 comic book weed superheroes. He's basically the one who writes the real like version of like Blunt Man and Chronic. Like if you've ever watched Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, it's about the Blunt Man and Chronic comics. Well, anyway, he writes like real comics like that too, and he's pretty cool. I also got to meet. I got to meet, and now I'm friends with, of course, and you have to look him up because I want you to tell me who he is. But anyway, because I know who he is. He's my friend. So my friend. We're friends on Facebook. We hung out together at comic book convention. It was a really good time. My girlfriend got to meet him that I was dating at the time, so it was real cool. We had fun. It was cool. He's a good guy. But anyway, he played Cousin It on the Addams Family. He is also an Ewok in Star Wars, the Return of the Jedi.
Uh-huh.
He was an Ewok in Return of the Jedi. What else was he in? Was he an Oompa Loompa? I don't think he was an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he was an Oompa Loompa. But anyway, I'll say this, his real first name is Felix. You have to look up the rest. But anyway, he's cool. Like, he's a cool little dude. And I mean, when I say little dude, I don't mean any pun intended, because he is like this tall. Like, I mean, I don't mean this tall. I mean, he's literally like this tall from the ground. He's a little guy. And like, dude, he played cousin, and of course he's a little guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, but he's really cool. Like, he's a really cool dude. Like, I had a lot of fun meeting him. So there's a lot of culture involved in marijuana, and so you have to be aware of that. So we'll be right back after the break. I'm the Dr. MistaTre. You're listening to High Tide Stick Radio. National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Ours. Ours Fest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook right now at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Ars Fest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. You're listening to me, the Doc MistaTre, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio. Put your hands up. Everybody, come on. Put your hands up. Everybody, together. Put your hands up. If you got more energy, put your hands up. So when you roll with me, put your hands up. You do the 100 to the beats, put your hands up. Rocking on the stage, everybody put your hands up. If you got more energy, put your hands up. So when you roll with me, put your hands up. You do the 100 to the beats, put your hands up. Rocking on the stage, everybody put your hands up. It's your best, so everybody put your hands up. I'm rapping for the North Long Beach, stand up. Gun track, hillside, nigga, man up. Hey me, I'm in the cut with a bad slut. With the tongue, we can look like handcuffs. And the look in the eyes so dangerous. Can you handle us? Cause I'm scandalous. When did Jesus be say hang like fabulous? I'm the fat man, girl, you know my shit is high. And your man is mad, what you think I'm not? I do my thing when I lean, when you rock with it. Girl, do your thing on the floor when you drop, get it. I'm from the place where my niggas get crunk, where my niggas get fucked. So what the fuck you want? To the 303, to the 562, where them gangsters be. Come on, you got more energy, put your hands up. So when you rollin' with me, put your hands up. You do the 100 to the beats, put your hands up. Rockin' on the stage, everybody put your hands up. If you got more energy, put your hands up. So when you rollin' with me, put your hands up. You do the 100 to the beats, put your hands up. Rockin' on the stage, everybody put your hands up. Where I'm from, niggas crunk to get crunk. Ladies on the floor when they shaking they stuff. Nigga, what? I'm VIP and I'm spitting at a shorty that's as fine as can be. You see, fuck with me. Mr. F-A-T-T-Z. I'm in a Lexus from Long Beach to Texas. Niggas talking loud, but they know not to test us. Cause in the beach, it's more for nothing. I'll roll the stuff and write out your English muffin. I'm never bluffing, but forever stuffing. Pulling out nigga in a big body something. So come on, baby, and party with me. Get crunk up though with Bacardi with me. At this week, keep your mind at ease as you roll with these fucking hustle hard G's. Come on, you got more energy. Put your hands up. Show me you roll with me. Put your hands up. You do the beats. Put your hands up. Rocking on the stage. Everybody, put your hands up. If you got more energy, put your hands up. Show me you roll with me. Put your hands up. You do the beats. Put your hands up. Rocking on the stage. Everybody, put your hands up. Yeah, nigga. Welcome to Long Beach. Hey, hustle hard. Yeah. Long Beach, California, man. It's hot. Hustle hard, man. So you know how we rock. Shorty, you roll in the bleeds. You got the pass it to me. You doing 100 through the beach. No stems, no seams. Everybody put your shorty, you roll in the bleeds. You got the pass it to me. You doing 100 through the beach. No stems, no seams. Everybody put your hands up. Yeah. Everybody, everybody, hey, together, put your hands up. High Tide Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on High Tide Stick Radio.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But anyway, we are back, of course, on High Tide Stick Live with the Doc. MistaTre brought to you by Bars Fest, Tampa 2016. Coming this July 2016, Bars Fest. Check it out. You can go on Facebook. I want some ice cream. Hold on. What? Yeah. So, I also want to get your opinion on something, Cousin Kels.
Yeah.
So, reports show that hundreds of thousands of federal financial aid applicants have lost the right to Uncle Sam's money since 2000 due to a drug conviction or failure to answer the FAFSA question that it pertains to any type of drug offenses. Drug policy experts argue that the government's concept of preventing students from receiving financial aid based on a conviction for a controlled substance has done nothing but to facilitate its goal of a drug-free America. Blocking access to education simply doesn't reduce drug problems, and this was said by Betty I believe it's Aldworth, the executive director for Students for Sensible Drug Policy, and she said this in a statement also that, and I quote, education and job opportunities are among the best tools to fight individual and community level impacts of drug misuse. So student advocates, civil rights leaders, and higher education officials have been pushing to repeal this senseless penalty for almost 2 decades. That's okay. The drug war as a whole is a abysmal failure that has put us in, of course, decades of poverty, decades of prison incarcerations that are long sentences that are just ridiculous. And so my question for you, Cousin Kels, is this something that you would stand behind, or would you stand against this? Now, again, the question is this. This group is looking to remove the blocking factor that if you are convicted of a drug felony for possession, use, or the distribution of a drug, that you can no longer apply for financial aid from the government. And they want that removed. It's been in law since 2000, by the way. So what's your take on this?
David's trying to talk to me and I'm getting distracted. What's up? I got distracted.
Okay, so student financial aid. Since 2000, if you were convicted of a drug crime, you were not eligible to get student financial aid. Hence, anybody who goes to prison pretty much has to pay out of pocket to go to college after that. They can't take a loan out or a financial aid loan. They have to like take full loans out. They like essentially you're paying out of pocket because you have to pay those loans back. So this group wants to remove this law that's been in place for 20 years now, that is, almost nearly 20 years. It's been in place since 2016 years.
A lot of times, what I think, depending on the length of being out of jail, because it's really wrong when they hold something against you that happened 20 years ago. I'm totally against that. Because people do change. And, yeah.
Well, I think not only do people change, but, if you're going to convict somebody of being an addict, here's the thing is addicts can recover. So,
yeah, exactly.
So what leg are you standing on at this point that you really feel like you could, that's like the right thing to do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't like, I support the idea, but I'm just more interested in like why or how this happened in the first place. Like how come we allowed a law to prevent you that if you had a drug problem, you now cannot go to college. Like that makes no sense to me. Like that's so stupid that I can't even think. I'm like, why would you do that?
I'm totally against that because they just sick and they should be punished for something that they can't control because they're sick.
Well, and I think that's a huge and a valid point.
I think that sometimes they just approach addicts, as they just people out there that just fucking need help, and they just throw them in jail and don't have to worry about them.
Agreed. Which is terrible.
Mm-hmm. When they need to get the correct help, not friggin' in jail. Or a lot of times, a lot of these people that do drugs, they do bad crimes.
Right. Well, and
so when they do bad crimes while doing drugs, then yes, they fucking deserve what they get.
Well, I think that I really have to cite what we talked about with the kid Eric that I told you about, and he like it broke my heart to see him in the position he was in, and I couldn't believe like that he was in that position. And seeing him in that position really hurt my feelings, and it really bothered me because I was just like, dude, like this kid, I watched this kid graduate high school. He was a friend. He was my ex-girlfriend's little brother's best friend. And I watched this kid graduate high school, and he was, he wasn't a bad kid. He was, he was a tougher, he's a little bit of a tougher kid. But he wasn't a bad kid or nothing like that. And I watched him graduate high school and everything. And like, I'm like, I see this kid and he's going to prison for 20 years. For a bunch of robberies and burglaries. He'll probably be out in 10 unless any of them are armed or violent. Otherwise, he'll be out in 10, maybe 12 years, as long as he stays out of trouble in prison, which he probably won't. But let's be honest, he really probably won't. And so I'm disturbed by this, and somewhat even, I would say the word I'd say is even hurt by this, because it's not right. Like, it's really not right. It's wrong. And at that point, it just, we continue to chastise people for a problem. And I think that that's where my, I guess, frustration lies. And
I think our system is so fucked up that they just look at everybody as a fucking criminal.
Well, that's what it is. Is first off,
that's how I feel.
I think if you're taking corporate payoffs, in
sweep it under the carpet. They don't fucking have to worry about it because they don't care.
Exactly. And I sit back and I go, that frustrates the hell out of me.
Yeah, like that now part
You're right. Well, we're going to continue this debate tomorrow. But anyway, we're going to get out of here for the day. You've been listening to High Tide Stick with the Doc, MistaTre. And of course, Kel's in the studio sick today, but she's with us and we love it. We're out. I'm out. Peace. Sucker fish.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
The National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Ours. Ours features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook. At BARZFEST Tampa. That's Ars Fest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. We're listening to me, the Doc MistaTre, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio.
After a shooting in Michigan that killed one person and left another in the hospital, the neighborhood is
So I get money because my niggas gon' change in them songs. Even if I get famous, I swear that look at niggas, they feeling me now. I guess I got some misery now, okay? We young nigga live in effect. Be silent, protecting my craft. And divided for rich with all of my niggas, and we just working on math. It's bad enough, and I feel like passion, I can be off the club. Shit, I might get like a repeat breaker. All money and break, man, it's the conversation. We keep hating. I keep loud and low, keep you low. It's equal basic, my career, yes, the bad stuff. And I'm sure never be those thoughts. I'm moving down when they go fly. And I think my life goes off. So if you can talk about you walking niggas who so born, not so bad. Don't ask me, I'm fucking okay.
I hit the blunt yesterday, then I ashed it, thinking about the better days. Shit was classic. I pray to God, y'all survive. Man, I wish I could fly. Man, I wish I could fly. So I get high. So I get high.
The second murder there this year is, and this and we have other stats that show it's just the most dangerous part of the city.
The people who live there, find out why there is so much
Yo, Aaron, what's going on? I got drinks since you been gone. See my mom holding on. Don't need a drink to be strong. I won't lie, I've been drinking, and yes, I have been smoking more. I'm not really proud, it's that loud, it's hard to ignore. Thinking about the moments we had ran from the police. Love, forget my friends, I'm blessed with all that for me. Like baby say, want to rock every crib and put in my street. Fuck whatever it is, you know that you can count on me. And my dog, man, I represent, still reppin' and put it on. When you're the one, pray that you making it back. I need you back on. I miss all of my soldiers and all the soldiers who gone. And I ask myself, I just have to get out this dream. I hit the blunt yesterday, then I ashed it, thinking about the better days. Shit was classic. I pray to God, y'all survive. Man, I wish I could fly. Man, I wish I could fly. So I get high. So I get high.
Say it's got worse because what is okay, he has done. I don't understand why they want to give their lives away doing that. Because when they get caught, they're going to prison.
iTideStick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on iTideStick Radio.